Credit card debt increases while retirement savings are drained to cope with inflation and car living. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Fox Business and written by Megan Henney, titled, "Americans are draining their retirement accounts, racking up debt due to high inflation." The author of this article referenced findings from Alliance Life Insurance Company of North America, which revealed that nearly 7 in 10 respondents said they have not contributed as much to their savings due to higher prices for everyday goods, while 51% of Americans said they are racking up more credit card debt in order to pay for necessities. Nearly 42% of households reported dipping into their retirement savings because of inflation. Well, my friends, here are my thoughts. First, the author did not discuss the sample size or research methodology. Therefore, we don't know how generalizable these findings are. With that said, this is still interesting information. I hate to hear about people who are not able to save because of inflation. I also hate to hear about 51% of Americans who are racking up more credit card debt to pay for necessities. I have to wonder what people consider necessities, though. To some people, an expensive latte twice a day is a necessity, while for others, a necessity is a bag of rice and a bag of beans needed to feed their hungry family. I still can't believe that over half of people in the country could be racking up more credit card debt to cover necessities in their life. Note I said could, since we don't know how generalizable these findings are. I truly worry about the 42% of people who are dipping into their retirement savings because of inflation. Some people are potentially sacrificing their future financial security to deal with their lack of funds today. If I were in a situation where I couldn't cover all of my bills, I'd find ways to live further beneath my means instead of dipping into my retirement savings. I'd cut out all streaming services. I'd carpool to work. I wouldn't eat out anymore. And I wouldn't do anything for fun in my free time unless it was completely free. I probably wouldn't have much free time because I'd also start working a second job to bring in more income. I'd rather do all of these things than dip into retirement savings. Who knows how expensive life might be in the future when you reach retirement age. Many Americans are going to need as much money as possible in their retirement accounts to survive. Life has gotten incredibly expensive in the past few years. What do you think life is going to be like 10, 20, or 30 years down the road? It may not be pretty for some people who are retiring with inadequate retirement savings because of hardship withdrawals they made to deal with today. Who knows what kind of inflation we may all experience in the future. To my point, the author said many Americans remain concerned that inflation could take a turn for the worst amid recent signs that progress is stalling. About 68% said they expect inflation to get worse over the next 12 months, although that is down from 74% recorded at the end of 2024. In my opinion, people need to think farther out than 12 months. Think about how expensive life could be by the time you reach retirement age. If you are struggling today, you might be really struggling later in life. I read some of the comments beneath this article. The first comment is really sarcastic, but so true. The Fed is equipped with 400 plus Ivy League Ph.D. economists, and they declared inflation to be transitory 3 years ago. I want everyone to know I was not one of those PhDs. The next commenter said, "This has been going on for a while, except now it has gotten so bad it can no longer be swept under the rug. For those that know what inflation can and will do, they prepared early. They didn't buy the inflation is transitory line. They didn't buy the economy is strong, and they didn't buy that inflation is a good thing. Instead, they prepared. cut expenses, and kept spending under control. Those that understood the situation early may not have been putting money into retirement because that locks it away and makes it untouchable. Instead, they are just hanging on to the cash for a rainy day. Spring is here, time to get that garden going and time to get the fishing gear ready to offset the high cost of food. Prices are about to go up considerably again. Get ready for the second round of inflation. Round 2 is usually worse than round 1. Well, my friends, I liked this commenter's suggestion to plant a garden and go fishing for some food. Just make sure you have a fishing license. When I was at the park recently, I talked to a DNR officer who was using a set of binoculars to look at what people fishing were doing. He was looking for opportunities to issue tickets. The next commenter said, Americans don't know how to budget or cut spending. They only know how to spend, and they are resistant to change. This commenter is implying that this is the case for all Americans, and I know that is not true. However, there are a lot of people that are in this situation. I'm sure you know some of them. Tell me about them in the comment section below. On the topic of retirement, I read another article today. This one was on yahoo.com, put out by Business Insider, and written by Alette Sheffy and Juliana Kaplan, titled, Gen X only has $108,600 saved for retirement, but they think they'll need $1.45 million more to live comfortably, a survey found. According to the authors, a Northwest Mutual survey of 4,588 adults revealed that Gen X has on average just $108,000 saved for retirement. Now here is the sad part. 42% of people in Generation X believe they could outlive their savings. Well, my friends, people in Generation X with only $108,000 saved for retirement could really struggle if that is going to be their only source of income other than Social Security. Let's say that $108,000 doubles to $216,000 by retirement age. That's certainly possible for some of the younger people in Generation X. Those in Generation X span between the ages of 44 to 59. When applying the 4% rule, $216,000 is only going to generate $8,640 per year in income or $720 per month. However expensive life is today for some of these people, life could be a lot more expensive by the time they are old enough to retire. If they are struggling to afford life working full-time right now, which is preventing them from saving more money for retirement, imagine what it might be like to live on a small amount of Social Security and $720 per month. That could be reality for some people in Generation X. Understand, I'm not bashing people in this situation. I get it. Life is expensive, and wages haven't kept pace with inflation for many people. It is a sad state of affairs here in America in some instances. I'm just some guy on YouTube, and I don't have all the answers. I just think people who are faced with a future reality like this may want to take a hard look at how they are spending their money right now. Cut out vacations, cut out frivolous spending, don't buy a new car, don't buy the latest smartphone, stop dining out at expensive restaurants, stop buying designer clothes. Do anything you can to set money aside for the future so you stand a chance. Getting back to the article, Generation X anticipates retiring later than other generations. On average, Americans anticipate retiring at age 65. Generation Z thinks it'll be 60 for them, but Gen X anticipates throwing in the towel at age 67. Okay, here are my thoughts. Young people in Generation Z are still optimistic about their futures and haven't hit some of the roadblocks yet that older generations have. Retiring at 60 isn't going to be realistic for many people in Generation Z. Some won't figure that out until they are much older. Understand, that's not the case for everyone in Generation Z. If someone in Generation X is planning to retire at 67 and they only have Social Security and $108,000 saved for retirement right now, they may want to seek some professional advice before moving forward with that plan. If I were in that situation, I would be waiting until age 70 so I would receive the largest monthly benefit from Social Security. Fortunately, I'm not in a situation where I only have $108,000 saved for retirement, but many Americans are, and I worry about those who will have no other source of income in retirement other than Social Security and that small lump sum. However bad the retirement crisis in America is today, it could be a lot worse in the future, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Some people in Florida are having a hard time affording life right now. I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by MoneyWise and written by Bethan Moorcraft, titled, "Florida Residents Bunk in Their Cars as Home Insurance Costs Cripple People's Finances." According to the author, residents in Florida are turning to their cars for shelter because they can't afford to keep a roof over their heads. The author went on to reference NBC2 News, who reported that a growing number of Floridians are living in their vehicles because of the soaring costs of home ownership, with home insurance reigning as the ultimate financial pain point. Well, my friends, I hate to hear about people who are living in their vehicles not by choice. I realize there are some people who love camping, and the idea of living in a vehicle of some type is their dream as they tour the country. There are some people who have no choice, though. They aren't doing this as a fun adventure. They are doing this to stay out of the elements so they can survive. Unfortunately, there are Americans with no friends or family members to rely on. They are on their own in their vehicle. Getting back to the article, the author said homeowners in Florida pay $4,419 a year on average for insurance on a $300,000 dwelling, according to insurance.com, which is painfully high when compared to the national average of $2,601. Well, my friends, I am sure the rising cost of insurance has caught some homeowners off guard. Some may have little equity in their home. If they can't afford the higher payment, they may be forced to sell. But with little equity, where do they go? Some may not be able to afford another home because of the same unaffordability problem. Some may also not be able to afford sky-high rent. It's not easy to find an affordable rental. If you do find one, the pictures online may be deceiving. Be prepared to be disappointed when you tour it in person. Apparently, all of this is too overwhelming, and some individuals in Florida are now living in their vehicles. I hope they are staying safe. I have this horrible image in my mind about someone falling asleep in his or her vehicle and getting roasted by the Florida sun while they sleep. Kind of like a lobster who is slowly killed as the cook increases the temperature of the water on the stove. I hope that no one suffers this fate while trying to sleep in their vehicle in Florida. At times, I get really discouraged by what is happening here in America. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.